What's up guys, thanks for joining. My name is Maxim and I'm a graphic designer specializing in logo and brand identity. So let me briefly describe the value of our channel as this first episode and it makes sense. It's not secret that every year the digital professions become more and more in demand, and in turn we have experience in creating logos, brand identity and graphic design in general. And the most important that we are very happy to share this experience with you. Today I'm going to show you the process of implementing a project related to tourism, or to be more precise, this future mobile app, the basis of which is to simplify travel in rural areas where local transport is terrible or completely inaccessible. Enjoy your viewing and let's get started. Each project starts with a simple conversation, and in this case I received the following message from a client.
Hey Maxim. What we're doing is creating a travel software as a service that will be used for transporting tourists in rural areas where public transit is less accessible. This app will allow travelers to custom pick locations to visit during the day, making for a seamless and stress-free travel experience. Our target market is primarily males and females aged 18 to 35 that are typically on the cutting edge of the latest in technology and mobile connectivity.
We want something simple,
Fun, youthful, and clean.
In addition to the message, Josh has attached a brief containing information about his preferences and emotions that we would like to put into his brand design. Josh pointed out the words that describe the future brand, guidance and references he liked. And then for a more perfect result, I'm going to create mood board in addition to it. That's what I did. I created separate artboards, each with specific design elements. You can see one of the logos of different brands, which in my opinion perfectly express the emotion and mood that we need to convey to the Turas logo design. As well, you can see fonts, images, colors and so on. You look at the designs of existing brands and a certain feeling formed in your head, then at the color palette, some more feeling and so on. You internalize the mood of the future brand. Ideas are born in you throughout all the stage of logo design. The next stage, as for me the most creative and interesting, is sketching. Typically the best ideas only come to me after about 30 minutes of sketching, and often I even should spend over an hour. I'm using the graphic tablet to show you my sketching process, but you can use a notebook or piece of paper in combination with a pencil. Likely that in your case it will be even better. In most cases, paper and pencil can give you more freedom and opportunity to implement your ideas. My main goal in option 1 and 2 was to depict the GPS icon in a negative space, so that it wouldn't attract most of the attention to itself, but would be read by target audience. In the case of the goat, this is right under the horn, and in the case of the dog, between the ear and the tail. Animals play much greater role here as they live in any rural area. As for option 3, I couldn't hide the GPS icon and it's in the main rules. I mentioned earlier that this is boring, but here I break the rule. The first thing, I'm going to reduce the opacity of the sketch to about 20%. Then lock it with the hotkeys Ctrl 2 or using the top menu. Object Lock Selection. Let's create one rectangle with a 1-point black stroke. To make it proportional, hold down the Shift key. Then drag the rectangle to the right while holding down the Alt to copy, and at the same time hold down the Shift so that the shape is copied exactly horizontally relative to the first one. Then right away hold down the Ctrl D 3 times and get 5 squares. Let's make the copy of all squares vertically. Select the shapes and press the Alt Shift, drag it down, and then copy 3 times using Ctrl D. Nice, we've got a base grid on which we will build the logo. I select all squares and press Ctrl G to group them. Let's make the stroke even thinner by 0 point to 5 points and lock the grid, press the Ctrl D. Let's now select the ellipse. It can be selected from the menu of the left or by pressing L. And place shapes as in the video inserting squares. We have created the first logo design element. Let's remove the block of the sketch by pressing Ctrl Alt and 2 or in the object unlock all and move the sketch somewhere to the side. Then select the grid and use the shape beetle tool, hotkey Shift M to cut off the extra parts while holding down the Alt. If you want to create a new shape, you just need to release the Alt. Thus we get one of the main elements and shift it to another place. To create the GPS icon, I'm going to create one large ellipse which should be bigger than the size of our main element but slightly less than twice. Then I will duplicate it such as distance so that there are 3 squares between them taken from our grid. Let's remove a rectangle. Now I'm going to create a smaller ellipse and place it between the 2 large ones. Let's lower it a little holding down the Shift. This will make our future GPS icon more correct form. Then reduce it a little to fit the size. Using the shape beetle tool, cut off unnecessary part by holding Alt. Let's finalize the GPS icon. Add a small circle to it this way and then use the shape beetle tool to create a shape. I don't like these anchor points, so let's remove them for cleanliness. Select each point with the direct selection tool or the A key and press remove selected anchor points. Then hold down the Shift to pull it out a little like this. But it's also necessary to measure the proportion of the second side. Let's remove the right part by selecting it with the same direct selection tool and then press the delete. Select the remains part with the selection tool or just VK. Go to Object, Transform and Reflect. Select Vertical and click Copy. Drag the copied part holding down the Shift so that is side touch. Select the place where these two parts meets, go to Object, Path, Join or just hotkey Ctrl G. Now we have a GPS icon that needs to be placed on the previously created design. Let's take as a basis our grid that I created at the very beginning and place the graphic elements on it. The GPS icon looks too big, so let's make it smaller. Let's apply the color I choose for the brand logo. Select the elements that need to be colored and use the eyedropper to do it. The name of the mobile app is Turas and I also choose the font in advance. And in the last step, let's match the logo mark and font to make it look like a single design. As I promised, I'm going to tell you about the hidden meanings placed in the logo design. Driving through any rural area, it's impossible not to come across a scarecrow that scares away birds. And this concept is based exactly on this. The symbol is similar to scarecrow, not scary, just the other way around, cute and funny, and it seems to show the direction of the road. Its head replaced with the GPS icon, and in another sense it could represent a crossroads with a target on the map that we have to reach. The logo design is made in the form of the letter T, which is the first in the name of the company. It's dominated by a playful and fun style, and this client criterion was one of the most important. Thank you all for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and if you want to receive a weekly portion of inspiration, be sure to subscribe our channel and remember, awesome ideas lie in the way of simplicity.